go. What a twist!
What a twist.
That was like a 15-minute chapter too.
That was a short chapter. Chapter ends when you get laid. That's the title of the YouTube video.
This video ends once I get laid.
And you need to do the perfectly cut screen thing of cut it as soon as you say hell yeah, and then it cuts. The video ends. The video just fucking ends.
God. And then say some fuck, and he said no.
I is so cute. Has two girls looking at each other, and then him saying some fuck, and he says no.
Hey guys, did you know I'm single? Could you guys guess?
Oh boy.
It's like Dora the Explorer episode. Can you point at the single person in this stream?
Hey, Abby, I feel like this is the one game you're gonna play just because you can get the hot trio with the spy and the Russian chick at the end.
Literally, like, you can... This game is dividing Black Widow into two people and then being able to get both of them.
Oh, God. Anyway, no, No, I like this better. What if you say no to both of them and then you just learn they started a relationship outside your door?
They both get rejected, like, his loss.
That's the ending I would rather see. That's hilarious.
Jesus Christ.
All right.
Oh, man.
Well, Mindy, it looks like the only person with a heart colder than yours has returned to terrorize the entire planet. His bald head reminds me of you, actually. That's right, folks. Biff wears a toupee. He went bald years ago. Marrying a psycho woman will do that to you, Mindy. Back to Dr. Arachnus. Today, the maniacal mechanical madman announced his return to the public scene in a big way, releasing the following video to every news station on the planet. Let's watch. The video flickers and Dr. Arachnus' twisted visage stares into the camera. The hawk-like nose and lifeless eyes send a shiver down your spine, even more than does the spider-like machine to which his torso is attached. I hate the writing of this book sometimes.
So weird.
He looks exactly the way he did when you first laid eyes on him, on the day he invaded your mind, the day you robbed the Merit City Bank.
Also the only day I laid eyes on him.
Yeah. Greetings, insects. You know me as Dr. Arachnus, the murderer. Dr. Arachnus the Great.
Can you keep
But that
voice
name
up
is a
the whole
lie.
chapter?
A joke of my own devising. The spider to hunt the insects of the earth. For my sport. But the day for games is over. It ended the day I drank the blood of your American President Johnson, gaining the clairvoyant powers granted him by your secret constitution. What the fuck?
Excuse me?
What? What? Hold on, there's a lot to unwrap in what I just read.
So the American president had clairvoyant superpowers granted him by the fucking Constitution. This sounds like a Metal Gear plot. What the fuck?
It does. It does. It does.
That sounds like you could have just changed Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, and it could have just been this.
Oh my god. And I saw then the threat hid in your planet. Can you imagine, insects, a threat to me?
Me.
And yet there was no escaping the terrible vision. And so I found myself forced to reveal myself to you at last. Not Arachnus the Mad Doctor, but my true identity. Tremble, Earthlings, as I reveal the culmination of my plans for your pitiful planet. Tremble before the might of Arakunos the Eighth, Emperor of the terrible spacefaring people of Yod, and this, the vanguard of my battle fleet. Tremble before the ending of your world.
I don't know who they are.
Okay.
Yeah, are you gonna keep that up the whole chapter?
I made a mistake. Watching the news from your base, you shrug.
Eh.
An alien. You had not guessed alien.
Hey, I prepared them when I did the fake alien invasions. They're ready.
Soon my people will begin terraforming Earth so that it can serve as our new home planet for as long as it suits us. Those of you who survive the process will have the glory of serving Yod as slaves. If you seek to change your fate, I await you on my ship, where my people will glory in watching their emperor reduce you to nothingness, especially the one known as Emperor Nefarious.
This is going to be an hour-long stream. It's going to end in like 15 minutes because Parker's throat's going to commit Sudoku.
The video cuts out just as Dr. Agnes gives the high, terrifying laugh you've heard before. Scary stuff, Mindy. Very scary. You said it, Biff. It appears 4 superheroes have already attempted to defeat Dr. Agnes, and all of them have been plummeting back to Earth in metallic coffins.
That's dark.
That's morbid. There's no word on what reaction Emperor Nefarious has had to Dr. Arachnus' taunt, or why the mad space emperor would target this supervillain specifically. Mindy, it's times like this I wish things had gone different between us.
Oh.
What do you mean, Biff? Well, you know, what I mean to say is, just shut up and kiss me, you fool!
Damn.
You shut the TV off in your bedchamber just as Biff and Mindy start kissing and groping each other excessively. Well, there's only one thing left to do.
I can
Also,
either...
can we get a golf clap for Biff and Mindy mending the patch? You know,
Wow.
mending things.
It only took the apocalypse.
Yeah.
Beg Dr.
what
Arachnus to let me be his sidekick. Hell no. I'm not a sidekick. What the fuck? Take my space base to some other planet. Call my mom to say goodbye. Those are my options? Am I really that outclassed?
Well, the emperor of an entire advanced civilization just said fuck you specifically, so kind of, I'm not gonna lie.
I have the laser.
Okay, he has a UFO and a space armada.
I have a big laser.
Okay. Half of it's a projector.
I don't know what to do because I don't want to do any of this.
Does it make you feel better if I tell you none of this matters?
I'll say
None
good.
of this
I'll
one.
call my mom. I didn't call my
Okay.
grandma. Or I didn't write a letter to my grandma, so I'll call my mom.
All the way back at the beginning of your villain origin story. Wait, that's just the uncontrollable fear talking.
Oh God!
You come too far up the totem pole for a villainy to let Dr. Arachnus, Arachnus, King God, or whatever he's calling himself, call you out without repercussion. If there's anyone who's going to make that idiotic news team kiss and make up out of pure fear, it's you!
Yeah!
You head to your control center, observing Earth as Dr. Arachnus' weather control devices wreak havoc on the surface. Oh, that's kind of bad. Countless tornadoes ravage every continent as the melted ice caps cause vast amounts of dry land to flood. This is the end of the world. You stare down at Earth in torment, and you are not sure if you're feeling empathy or jealousy of the destruction being wrought. In any case, it's time to show Dr. Arachnus what a homegrown villain can do when the chips are down. Of course, you'd rather not do it alone.
I have 2 hot people on my side.
Fire everything! Oh,
And
I would love if the
slug!
count is just... Whatever the count is just fucked up.
That would be so sad and very likely.
The other one didn't get laid. It
I
was
have
part of the
Slug.
contract.
I'm gonna send Slug to punch him.
Alright.
Slug,
See you.
report to the combat room at once.
Slog has been moving up and down from your terrestrial base in the satellite, keeping your normal operations in check. Now he'll be assisting you in what could be your last mission together. If there's anyone you want to have watching your back as you take on Dr. Agnes, it's him. Steelheart is already waiting for you in the combat room. Regardless of what's going on between you, she knows full well that the Earth's best chance of stopping Dr. Agnes lies here. Vanguard is suddenly overwhelmed with bureaucratic infighting as its constituent nations drive themselves into a panic. The few resources aren't being consumed or taken up fighting the chaos the terraforming process has caused. Next to her is the Countess, who well knows that you're the only supervillain with the cunning and resources to match Dr. Arachnus. Man, they're really hyping you up, aren't they?
Yeah.
Alright, here you go, man.
Here's the plan.
You begin.
We're taking one of my satellite's escape pods straight to Dr. Arachnus' spaceship. Normally, those creepy insect drones swarming around it would rip us to shreds. But the satellite's lasers will draw their attention. I'll set it to shoot just before we land on his ship, distracting them long enough to let us sneak in, at which point he'll probably send the drones to tear this place to shreds.
So you'll be sacrificing your base for the slim chance that he doesn't see us coming? Tough call, Steelheart affirms. What do we do once we're on the ship? It's huge. You shrug.
Arachnus has been using teleportation check to get around in here. We'll find his nexus, deal with the traps, and take him down.
The others nod.
That's actually a plan. I let's see how this goes.
We have the super team of you, Steelheart, Countess, and Slog.
Let's do this. And I hope the Drake shows up for some reason somehow.
No, better ending. Countess left you for Slog.
Oh, that's honestly good for him.
Good for her.
They're good together.
You load your team into the base's escape vehicle. It's one of your favorite things in the world. Artistic, graceful, beautiful. You're always a little bit in awe when you watch it move. You named it the Shanna. As planned, your satellite laser fires at Dr. Arachnus' massive ship, but barely seems to damage it. Poor little thing, barely a few days old and already outclassed.
Oh.
Alerted to the base's presence, Dr. Arachnus drones veer away from the ship's perimeter. As you watch, they tear the base apart in a matter of minutes. A tear rolls down your cheek as your precious base becomes nothing more than space trash. It's the first time you cry since the end of Toy Tale 3.
That was a really good ending.
Look, Slog says while pointing out a nearby window.
You can say more things than okay.
Okay. You peek out to watch another space shuttle preparing to land on the other side of Dr. Arachnus' massive ship. Is it Minotaur? Vanguard? The president of Who Gives a Crap? Whoever it is, they'd better not get in your way. You've brought your greatest gadgets and weapons along with the sole intention of using them on this person or cyborg or Yodite or whatever he is. And that's Dr. Arachnus.
Why isn't he in the thing?
Why isn't what?
He's not in the thing. There's something on the other side, right? He should have been in, like, the command center, like... But now he's just, like, there.
I don't understand what you're saying.
Well, I thought we just got into the ship, right? And now we're just right in front of him? We're not dealing with the teleportation room?
No, you're not right in front of him.
Oh, okay. I thought it was saying Dr. Arachnus was, like, right there.
No, Slog said, look, there's another ship landing at Arachnus' UFO.
Oh, okay.
So there's someone else coming. Is it the Drake? Please tell me it's the Drake.
It would be great.
Slipping through one of the spaceship's airlocks, you and your team leave the pod behind and move through the miles of corridors that make up the ship. Every now and then you spot what you assume must be Yodites, short, pale creatures who utterly ignore you, apparently controlled by the metal harnesses implanted in their backs. You're not entirely surprised that Dr. Arachnus is a tyrant to his own people as well. Turning a corner, you reach a round room. Before you can cross it, all of the doors slide shut, and Dr. Arachnus' trademark mecha spiders start emerging from nearby holes. They're fast, deadly, and programmed to tear off human flesh. The worst part is, they like to start with the face.
Jesus.
Fortunately, your team does an awesome job of eliminating them every mecha spider that comes their way, and eventually the mechs stop emerging. The massive door ahead of you opens, only to reveal a giant mecha spider the size of a large bus. That's very big. Without warning, it shoots a web net that catches everyone but you, electrocuting them whenever they try to struggle free. Since you like having your face attached to your head, you have no choice but to use something you intended to use against Dr. Arachnus. All right, Kai, chips are down. This is it, buddy. What are you doing?
So either I inject the serum that temporarily gives me super strength. That's pretty bland. I unleash my own machine for an epic robot versus robot battle. Activate my exterminator mode to scare off the metal arachnid, which I don't think he can be scared. Or I can go all out and use everything I prepared today. I feel like I should save my one planning point for not the first thing I see, right? That's my brain.
You get into the fucking, this is the equivalent of MMO team. You get into the dungeon, blow all your ults and everything on the first trash mob.
Yep. I'm gonna use the robot. I feel like a robot versus robot battle is gonna be really cool.
Get out your Evangelion.
Yeah. You
drop a nanobot-filled gadget that forms a mechanical wasp seemingly out of thin air.
Oh yeah.
Oh, science, where would you be? Where would you be without it? The steel spider tries to put... This really is just the choice of robots version of you that didn't give a shit.
Hell yes.
The steel spider tries to put up a fight, but your wasp subdues it, slices its metallic abdomen open, and drops several bombs inside. The wasp stays lashed in to keep the explosives from falling out. You drop to the floor as both machines explode, blasting shrapnel throughout the room. Both machines now lie scattered on the floor in several pieces. You give a brief lecture to your team about the predatory nature of the deadly spider wasp that you prepare to cut them free. Fucking nerd. After freeing your team from their electric net, you continue... What?
Everyone's in the net's like, just fucking kill me. Just fucking kill me.
As the guy's like, the spider wasp is the natural enemy of the. And everyone's like, I'm gonna. And then Steelheart's like, I slept with this guy.
I could have just died here. I could have let it kill me.
After freeing your team from the electric net, you continue through the ship, eventually reaching a fork in the path. Suddenly, your heart skittering behind you, or you hear skittering behind you, and you turn to see thousands upon thousands of spider robots streaming down the hall behind you, like ants fighting to defend the hive. You open up a device that quickly scans the entire ship, giving you a holographic layout of every room and corridor. If you're right and Dr. Arachnus is hiding near the ship's teleportation nexus, you'll need to pass through the ship's reactor to reach him. The spider horde moves closer.
Uh-oh.
Your team runs, but the spiders don't have to worry about tripping or fatigue or anything except killing you and dragging your corpse before their master. And they're gaining. You've got no choice. You're bogged down with too much equipment. You tear some off and throw it behind you, buying yourself just enough time to escape. Reaching the ship's main power reactor, you met with a thoroughly improbable sight. The Drake is here.
Hell yeah!
With several very angry-looking bound and gagged men and women taken hostage.
Oh,
Is that Minotaur? Is that Minotaur? You're not sure why this psychotic's personnel business. Wait, what?
You're not sure why this psychotic's
personal business keeps intruding you. Is that the way you use psychotic? Anyways, intruding in your life.
Psychos.
Yeah, or psychopath is what I was expecting. But you guess you're resigned to it by this point. Seeing you enter, she turns to you, flamethrower leveled at your chest. Again, you hate that stupid flamethrower. Looking past it, you realize that the Vigilantes' hostages are the 12 clone members of Minotaur's High Council.
Why are they here? Why'd she bring them here?
Should have known you've been here, Emperor Nefarious, the Drake shouts at you. You always seem to show up at the worst moments. You roll your eyes.
What are you doing here, Drake? Why are they here?
What do you think? As soon as Dr. Arachnus broadcast his message, these bastards loaded themselves into a private rocket and shot themselves into space to discuss terms.
Oh, okay.
They wanted to serve the Earth up to Dr. Arachnus on a silver platter with themselves as the surviving slaves. You stare at the council members who look back at you with calm defiance. I knew I'd never get another shot at taking them all out at once, so I stowed away, and here we are, with you in my way, again. You really do not have time for a crazy person clone baby drama.
My fight is with Arachnus, not Minotaur.
Minotaur, Arachnus, Emperor Nefarious, what's the difference? You all are a menace to this world. You all steal and destroy just to satisfy yourselves. I'd rather die trying to take down Arachnus myself than work with any of you. The Drake has always been motivated by hatred, but the sound of frustration in her voice is something new. You suspect the revelation that she's the child of Minotaur's founder has been eating away at her. You really don't have time for this crap.
So I can either attack her while she's distracted, help her eliminate the Minotaur Council, which she doesn't. She's already right there. Or try to convince the Drake to take over Minotaur, which I think this one might work. This is cool.
Reform. You.
Drake, look in their eyes. They're afraid of you. Not because they think you'll burn them, but because they know that Minotaur's is yours by rights. It doesn't have to be about the petty whims of these little tyrants. It could be a force for good, or vengeance, or whatever you want it to be. When you are the Minotaur. When you claim your birthright.
For whatever reason, Drake listens to what you have to say. Perhaps your actions over the few times you've crossed paths have made her realize you're not just another insane villain. I could burn them all. Not just the criminals in the costumes. Everyone who does wrong. Anywhere.
As long as she's not like, right now, if she's like leaving me alone right now, I'm good.
Sometimes you forget for a second that the Drake is full-on crazy. Oh well, at least she seems to like you. Well, the Drake says, kneeling before council members, what do you all think? And don't let my flamethrower influence your decisions. She pulls off one gag. Of course, he shouts. As the child of the great Minotaur, the Council of 12 forfeit all of our power to you. Good, the Drake announces before pointing her flamethrower at the council and setting them all alight.
Oh yeah, okay.
Because the Drake is crazy. Before you can do anything to stop her, she distracts you by tossing an incendiary grenade at the main reactor core. The vigilante makes her escape as alarms begin blaring, informing you that the reactor is leaking radiation. Green light is oozing from the damaged alien reactor. They're not sure exactly what sorts of rays it's shooting out, but you're pretty sure that it's lethally bad for you and your team. Doesn't look good, Steelheart says. We need to get out of here fast.
It won't work.
You say.
This leak is quickly filling the entire ship with radiation. We'll be dead before we can reach Arachnus.
You look up, hoping the proverbial light bulb will appear as so you know what to do. Of course, that doesn't happen.
I think I put my finger up. I got nothing.
Racking your brain for something that might get you out of this situation, you look around at your allies. To your surprise, Slog's expression hardens. It's strange. Even though he's carried out your assignments, no matter how villainous, without complaint, you never really thought of him as having an inner darkness. But the inner darkness is present and very much at the surface now.
Slog?
You ask.
What's wrong?
We should die here, he says. If only this was just a sudden burst of defeatism, but you can tell it isn't.
We do bad... Oh, that's him still. Oh, sorry. What are you talking about? I missed that.
We do bad things. We shouldn't live. You swallow. Slog always seemed a little uncomfortable with killing, but you didn't know it went this far.
So I can either persuade him to stay on my side, convince him to follow his own path in life, or kill him. I'm not gonna kill him.
This changed. this escalated.
Am I don't know what goes into convincing him. Maybe it's ingenuity.
I love how the radiation starts licking, and then Slog just has a
life crisis.
Midlife crisis in the middle of it.
I think I can persuade him. Let's find out.
Don't want to lose Slog.
I don't want to lose Slog. Slog, listen to me.
You raise your hands, free of weapons, to demonstrate your goodwill.
I never kill more than I have to. I know I've made you do things you don't like, but that can change. Things will be different from now on, I promise.
He stares at you and blinks slowly for a few long moments, then nods, a smile spreading across his face. Okay. Even with that problem taken care of, you aren't in the clear yet. The core is still leaking radiation. Yeah, we solved that. Back to the problem.
Problem solved. Oh, wait!
This is you.
Fortunately, I've got just a thing for a problem like this. But I guess the light bulb now comes up.
Yep, opening a container with nanobots designed to repair virtually any form of mechanical damage.
Why was I...
work and still allowing you to escape before the radiation can do any more damage.
I have nothing. Oh, wait, I have this thing that solves this exact situation. I'm a fucking idiot.
I mean, have you seen the game up to this point? That's correct.
Yes.
The shit becomes stranger the further you get, more alien, for lack of the better word. The hallway twists and warps, doorways shimmer, and whispers carry through the air. Lights dim and pathways multiply until you feel more like you're in some twisted maze than a ship. Several times you reach dead ends that force you back to backtrack. At least you aren't alone. With help from the holographic map you made earlier, you managed to navigate your way to the deepest part of the ship, where a massive door awaits. Engraved spiderwebs cover every inch of the metal. There's no sign of a doorknob, but a panel on the wall glows with green light.
So either... Wow, I... Put my hand on the panel. Rewire the door security system to force it open. Ask Gilhart to open the door. Ask Countess to open the door. Ask Log to open the door. I think it'll kill whoever I make open the door.
It sure does seem that way. You should ask Steelheart to open the door.
Fuck you. I think maybe I can try and rewire the door security system.
Your ingenuity is very high.
Let's give it a go. Let's go see if I can do it.
It just takes a few moments of studying the door and panel beside it to decide which tools you need. You work quickly. The alien technology makes it tougher, but a few minutes with it helps you adapt. Within minutes, the door slides open. Hey, I think your ingenuity was high enough.
Oh, yeah.
Even as the door opens, armored forms drop down from the ceiling all around you. You bite back a yelp of surprise. Where were they hiding? A closer look reveals them to be pale aliens like the ones you saw earlier, mind harnessed just the same. Their vacant expressions make you feel bad for them. Just for a moment, once they start firing their weapons, you steel yourself against any misguided sentiment. Despite the surprise attack, you respond quickly and begin taking out the Yodite soldiers after only a brief pause. They put up a good fight, but your team is stronger. You'll have enough time to get through the door before reinforcements arrive. As you head towards the door, the Countess sways and drops to one knee. She pants for breath and glances up at you with an ironic smile. Thought I'd make it to the final battle. Pity.
How bad it? You're wounded.
You ask.
How bad is it?
Bad enough. She waves a hand towards the door. Go on, finish this for me. Prove I was right.
You can count on me.
Go, she says. Don't waste time.
Is she dying
She's
because I
right.
didn't bang her?
No, I think there was some. I don't remember what it was, but there was something way back that, like, if you had a thing with you, you could save her, basically.
Oh, okay.
She's right. Reinforcements could be coming at any moment. With a final glance back at the brave figure preparing for her last stand, you turn around and run through the door. After a moment, it closes. You finally reach the ship's heart, the teleportation matrix where Dr. Arachnus awaits. Your eyes widen as you gaze upon the tall, menacing supervillain in person for the first time. He's a monstrous mixture of flesh and steel, dozens of tentacles and lethally sharp metal claws spread out from a wide, insectoid body. The appendages move constantly in a deadly ballet of inhuman force, and above it all, suspended in midair, lies the heart of the ship, the teleportation matrix. It swirls angrily, a dense bronze sphere resting at its center.
Well, if it isn't the little fly I allowed to keep buzzing about not long ago,
Dr. Arachnus says.
They said you would come.
Wait, what?
You had a big defiant speech already. Now you're a little confused.
The visions, the one I stole from your elected leader. They told me to watch for you, that you would be the thorn in my side, and as I watched with the power of my omnipotent space-time sphere.
Well,
He gestured at the bronze sphere floating above him.
Watched as you served my interests, distracting Minotaur and Vanguard from my plans. Disappointing, really. Even more help than harm.
You grit your teeth in anger. Really? A prophecy? That's why this psycho has been putting himself in the way of your well-intended mayhem? And hey, maybe you'd have tried a little harder if you'd known the world's greatest supervillain was watching every step of the way. At least you managed to impress all this.
he saw all the
schlubs
yoga
and
classes.
He saw the yoga classes. Even if most of them are currently hiding in their lairs, too scared to even look up at Dr. Arachnus' ship.
And I see no reason you couldn't continue to help me. Join me. You're the most dangerous person on Earth, Emperor Nefarious, as little as that means. Join me and we can bring terror to the stars.
Either no thanks, I play second fiddle to no one. Where do I sign? Or after everything you've done, you think I'd join you? I mean, I do not play second fiddle. I am no sidekick. Okay. No way.
Dr. Arachnus lets out a cackling laugh.
Foolish mortal. Did you think my offer was genuine? Arakunis needs no assistance. Has no equals, only subjects and slaves.
That's it. No one makes a fool out of you, not even the world's deadliest supervillain. As you prepare to attack, the constantly shifting limbs and tentacles of Dr. Arachnus' armor suddenly seize up. For the first time, shock appears on the master villain's face as he works to regain control of his armor. Electricity crackles around the madman's body, apparently discharging from the armor itself.
Oh yeah.
Now, Emperor Nefarious, shouts a voice you remember
Oh,
clearly.
it's my voice.
Not
Now,
this-
Emperor Nefarious.
Oh, that's right. He uses your voice. Shouts a voice you remember clearly. Nautilus. He's giving you your chance. Time to take it.
Let's go. Here it is.
Here it is. Life or death. The ultimate fight. Choose wisely. The fate of the Earth depends on it.
Okay, so I can either use my combat skills to take him down, use my ingenuity to defeat the mass murderer, use the art of terror to vanquish the foe, or put on a show. Theatricality is the key to winning this fight. Basically, what's my highest stat? Which is surprisingly, and happily at least, ingenuity at 79%.
I think it'd be funny if you just use your lower stat for shits and giggles.
And then die.
and then die.
No, I'm gonna use my ingenuity. I'm a smart person.
You tried so hard to be theatrical. Go to your stats real quick, by the way. Your theatricality went up a little bit over the course of this mission.
Dude.
You activate your replicator. It's your ace in the hole, the one invention you always held back so that nobody could ever plan against it. Instantly, dozens of physical copies of you burst from the device. Each one even wields a unique weapon to use against Dr. Arachnus, including laser blasters and energy swords. Steelheart raises an eyebrow at you, but there's really no time for a friendly chat. This is just Mega Man's final smash.
It sure is.
On your signal, the clones rush Dr. Arachnus. He seems to be overwhelmed by them for a time. While your copies keep him busy, you take out a conductive cord and you make your way to the bronze sphere at the heart of the Nexus. In principle, this should be simple. Loop the cord around the sphere of infinite omnipotent energy, then jab it into Dr. Agnes' mechanical body and fry him. Yeah, simple, in principle. You turn and see the last of your clones fall, dead, at Dr. Agnes' feet, leaving Steelheart to keep the half-mechanical menace busy. She does so for a time, but eventually makes a mistake that ends with one of Dr. Agnes' stickle-like spider limbs cutting through her chest.
No!
You
Oh.
That
No!
sounded so inconvenient. That first one sounded so inconvenienced.
No!
Oh, man!
I gave it a second attempt.
You scream. All right, pick up. Give us a good no.
No!
Much better. You scream. A red haze of rage fills your vision. Just as the mass murderer raises his victim in the air to celebrate the kill, you run up and jam the energized cord into his abdomen. Dr. Arachnus roars in pain as unimaginable amounts of energy flow through his body, roasting his fleshy parts and melting his mechanical half. With Dr. Arachnus gone, you can now direct all your attention to his precious space-time sphere, the heart of the ship and device currently terraforming the Earth. If you understand the principles correctly, it can do anything. Literally anything. As long as you can properly visualize it. And if you can't...
Uh-oh.
You've come a long way from robbing banks and striving to impress everyone on dark space. Now, here you stand, having taken down the galaxy's greatest tyrant. I mean, that's a big assumption. With the ultimate power within reach. For a moment, you just bask in the glory of your triumph and dream of the things you could accomplish, the heights you could reach. Anything is possible. Then a harsh voice rips through your musings. I don't know who this is, unknown to voice. Not so fast. You spin around and stare in disbelief. It's impossible. Impossible or not, Dr. Arachnus stands before you. He looks a little worse for wear, but surprisingly good considering he, well, died. As your arch nemesis limps towards you, you rack your brain trying to figure out what happened. You were certain he died, although when you think back on it, you didn't exactly have a chance to examine the body. Always make sure they're really dead. It's one of those villain guidelines you should have been paid more attention to. Right now, though the current situation demands all your attention, Dr. Agnes may have impossibly survived, but his near-death experience couldn't have been kind to him. His eyes are aglow with rage and insanity.
You assume I was defeated? There was no way for me to reach you here now.
He edges closer to you with each word, yelling, You really think that I, the greatest threat this pathetic world has ever known, would not have planned for this eventuality? You take a deep breath.
It ends here, Arachnus, or no one threatens my planet. I fight for my friends. Why does it remain?
Goku.
I'm Ike.
Yeah, Ike.
It's my planet. Thank you very much. I rule it. Anyways. Oh man, that would cost. Apparently, I'm gonna end with 1 playing point because that costs 4.
Jesus. There's nothing wrong with it. I really want to know what that would do.
If I saved 4, like, god damn.
You would have to get, like, I think you got, I don't even think you got 4 over the course of your game.
I think I only got 4 actually.
Yeah, you got exactly 4.
You may be both. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. You may both be supervillains, but Earth is your planet to torment. If that means protecting it from another villain, so be it. Dr. Arachnus may have pulled a back from the dead stunt, but you aren't giving up. Slog lunges forward as if to stop the supervillain, but Dr. Arachnus knocks him into the air. Your little psychic slams from the far wall and slides down to the ground.
No!
He doesn't get up.
Slog!
How Dr. Arachnus planned for what you did to him, you don't know. The teleportation matrix, the space-time sphere hex, it's his shit. It probably has secrets you have no clue about. Doesn't matter now. This is it. You only get one chance.
So either
One shot, one opportunity, Kai.
I either fight Dr. Arachnus using my greatest strength, the skill I've mastered above all others, or I draw upon the memory of the person I care most about, using that power to erase Dr. Arachnus by using his own space-time sphere. So basically, it's like saying, do I want to use my skill or any of the relationship I built?
What do you think, stronger?
What do I think stronger? I'm gonna be honest. I mean, it feels like that 1% is gonna fuck me over, honestly.
I honestly, I feel like you just tried to get him with ingenuity. Like,
And that's, yeah.
I don't know if do it again is a great idea.
All right. Let's see.
The power of friendship.
Power of friendship. I'm gonna die here, and there's no save states. Let's go.
You are the Emperor Nefarious is a brony. Can confirm. Steelheart, the deputy director of Vanguard, who somehow won your heart.
Hell yeah.
She'd want you to destroy Dr. Arachnus. She did everything she could to help. Now it's your turn. As you reach for the space-time sphere and imagine a world without Dr. Arachnus, you feel you're Tony Stark reaching for the Infinity Gauntlet.
I am. Emperor Nefarious.
As you reach for the space-time sphere and imagine a world without Dr. Arachnus, you feel almost as though Steelheart is right beside you, lending you the strength you need to properly visualize the first part of your perfect future. Dr. Arachnus' eyes widen in shock and horror as he realizes your plan, but it's too late for him to stop you. With Dr. Arachnus finally taken care of and the power of the space-time sphere in your grasp, there's only one question left to answer.
There's a lot.
What kind of supervillain are you?
Okay, there's a lot here. So,
There's a lot here.
I could completely destroy the Earth. Just say, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. Make myself the ruler of the world, transform Earth into a perfect utopia, change the world into a lawless, anarchist paradise, have my face appear on the sun forever, make the entire world just a little more cartoony, blow up Dr. Arachnus' ship along with the space-time sphere, resurrect a dead friend, undo the damage Dr. Arachnus did to the planet, return Earth without doing anything.
Both Steelheart and the Countess have died. So those are the two friends you would have to choose from.
I don't know if that would like help me defeat Arachnus. I'm worried I resurrect them, and then he just kills us. And it's like, well...
No, Dr. Arachnus is dead. With Dr. Arachnus finally taken care of and the power sphere in your grasp, you Thanos snapped him. He turned to dust.
Okay, I thought that this
is
was...
you standing there with ultimate power in your hand, and what are you going to do with it?
The Earth can fix itself, right?
I mean, sure, I guess so.
Besides, if I'm going to rule the world, it's going to be by me doing it, not because I just got a MacGuffin to do it, okay? I'm going to take over the world. My way. So let's resurrect the dead friend.
You didn't even have to go on a speech. I knew exactly what you were going to do.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was going for. Plus, now I can have Dr. Arachnus' ship to myself. It's my stuff now.
It is leaking radiation, and the reactor is probably going to blow up.
He has other ships.
Oh, you could bring... Oh, Slog is dead, too!
Oh, yeah, he did die. Right. He got slammed to the wall and didn't get up. Okay, that just...
It just does that sometimes, I guess. There are two big ways villains throughout history have screwed things up, even by evil standards. Using an artifact of unlimited power to grant wishes without understanding the consequences, and trying to resurrect the dead. As such, if you're going to use an artifact of unlimited power to resurrect the dead, you'll need to proceed with caution. In theory, you can just revive all the people you care about with a simple thought. In practice, you'd probably start a new zombie apocalypse. To avoid that, you need to keep it simple. As much as it hurts, you should choose only one person you truly care about to bring back from the dead. You'll choose.
I love how there's all the people that have died, and then I know the game just told me like in 3 different ways to not do this, but I could try and bring everyone back.
I wonder if there's a stat that would make that work.
If I had to guess, it'd probably be like I was gonna say pragmatism, but I think ingenuity.
I was saying more or activism, like not being selfish.
Oh, that's true.
I don't know.
Activism could also work, but I mean, I'm gonna play it safe. I'm sorry, Slog.
Okay. Slog and Nautilus. Kai wants to get laid again.
Come on! I've worked the entire game to do this.
We're leaving Slog, Nautilus, and the Countess behind.
Look, the Nautilus went into this like this. I never really cared about
You're justifying yourself for the fact that you're letting them all die for pussy. We understand.
Yeah. I'm evil! I'm selfish! Anyways.
You just want to get laid.
Anyways. Yes, I'm selfish and evil. I will do it.
Of all the people you met during your time as far as supervillains, the one you really want to see again is Steelheart. You close your eyes and concentrate as hard as you can on that singular wish. Steelheart must live again. Man, this could go so bad.
It could.
You and Steelheart ride the escape pod back to Earth in silence. When it lands, you look at each other. In a moment, you'll need to go outside and face the crowds of people asking what happened and if the world is safe from Dr. Arachnus now. Before then, you should probably talk about what happened. Not usually at a loss for words, you falter. Even in your line of work, it isn't every day you bring someone back from the dead. Life and death should be left alone, Steelheart says. You shouldn't have done that. You should have known she'd disapprove. A little depressed, you nod and look down at your feet.
Okay.
For a moment, neither of you say anything. Then Steelheart clears her throat. Thank you. Startled by a sudden change, you stare at her in confusion. Risky or not, you did what you thought was best. I'm flattered you think so highly of me. Thank you, Emperor Nefarious.
Well, life wouldn't be the same without you.
You say it with a slight laugh.
It's a comedy.
You managed to make the entire descent to Earth without touching Steelheart, but now you can't wait any longer. Driven by the thought of how close you came to losing her, you lean close and pull her in for a long kiss. It's going to be difficult, she reminds you when you fully separate. You kiss her again.
We'll make it. We have a whole new future ahead of us.
A smile from your one-time enemy is all you need to restore your confidence that you made the right decision. You stand and prepare to face the world with Steelheart by your side.
Yay!
You did it. You made it to the end of this one without dying.
That's like, I guess I didn't die in the first one, but, you know.
You did save yourself in the first one.
I did.
You emotionally died. You died emotionally.
I died IRL.
Really hard.
The second one I just died. This time,
the second one we were so close, and we were at the end,
Right
and then you
there.
followed a ghost onto the roof and got pushed off the roof.
right there at the end. Hey, we did it. Finn.
Hope you enjoyed Diabolical. 10 out of 10.
That was really good. There's just no answer. That's a 0.
All right. No, thanks. We don't need that. All right. Now, here at the end of this, Kai, I'm going to tell everyone that this is the end of Parker and Kai Plays for this Choice Of series. Because these are the 3 I wanted to present him that I really liked. We do have a plan to do another one, but that's probably not going to be in this series. It's probably just going to be a normal playthrough because neither of us have done it before.
Yeah.
So it's probably going to be that. But, Kai, this is essentially the end of a long-term mini-series that we've done of this style of game being presented to you. And I would just love to hear your thoughts at the end of all of this.
I absolutely think this is better that we did it like you and me did it. If I did this by myself, it would be a lot more boring.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely a lot better to have someone here just so that we can laugh at the shit that happens and the stupid decisions that get made.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, I think me shoulder checking a guy and killing him will always reign supreme now. That's just like, that was so great.
You didn't even choose to soul check him. You chose to eviscerate him with facts and logic, and then you snapped his neck.
Here's facts and logic. Fuck you. And then also giving a robot depression and then getting myself depression.
Oof, that was a rough one, man.
That was
a rough.
I was like tearing up, man.
Yeah, because these games do mean a lot to me. It's gonna be a little bit of an interview at the end of this. Gonna do some questions just because I do like to hear your thoughts on this because you're the first person I presented these games to.
Oh, great.
What do you think of this like medium of gaming? Do you consider this video games first of all?
Not really. No, I don't consider this a video game.
Okay.
Because this
That's
is
valid.
far closer to a visual, like a choose your own adventure book.
Mhm.
Because it pretty much is. It's just digital. But it's still a game, I'd say. Because at the end of the day, it still has points. It tracks what you've done, which what a choose your own adventure game doesn't do.
It's like an RPG more or less.
Yeah, so I'd say this is definitely closer to that, but with just more.
Out of the 3 that you've played, could you? Well, I want to do 2 different rankings. One is your personal favorite list of the 3 you've done. Rank the 3 first. Go ahead.
I mean,
And a little reason if you could.
well, I mean, the first one's gotta be Choice of Robot, because that one hit me in the gut.
That's a very epic one too. It is very incredibly well written.
I was not expected with how long it went and how much every little thing I did mattered. And And for it to actually make me sad for like a fucking robot I made. Two robots I made. I treated Famulus like a fucking my own blood.
Yeah.
And fucking
Galateo.
Galatea. That was
Oof.
like, oh my god, that I was trying to not bang the robot, and the robot just
Fell in love with you, man.
that was difficult. That was like I stumbled into a decent ending.
I think Choice of Robots is the grand prize of all of this genre because every single choice matters in some way, and you can have wildly different experiences than anyone else who does it.
Like, you said it while we were playing it. You had nothing like what I did.
I've never seen what you did before.
That was a ride. Honestly, I think this one was better than Choice of Magic.
Oh yeah?
My issue with Choice of Magic is that obviously it depended a lot on the magic, and maybe it's just because everyone I tried to meet died. But it was all
every single time you used Negation Magnet, it went from bad to worse.
But it felt like everything depended on the magic to the point that if you didn't have the right magic, which oftentimes I didn't because I didn't want to fucking kill myself doing half the things that these magics did, it didn't matter. So it kind of took me out of it just a bit.
I feel like there was too much pressure.
It was a lot of pressure with all of my choices requiring self-sacrifice. There was not really a good option. There was just a not as bad option in a lot of them. And the not as bad option led to bad options. But this one, I mean, I played it like a fucking joke villain, but it was a lot of fun.
I think that's what you're meant to do. This one's way more campy. And let's be real. I think this one, well, we'll get into that. Okay. I think it's meant to be played way more campy, you know?
Yeah. But if I leaned into that. I was like, I'm just going to play this like a fucking weirdo. And it was so much fun.
And then just the other one is, I feel like we kind of said it, but what would you rank them on the actual quality of them, of the writing and the meaning and how meaningful your choices actually are?
Honestly, I have a feeling in this one that the meaning of the choices matter less.
You're correct.
In Diabolical, it gave that vibe of everything's just an individual story, and it's just a matter of how you get through it, just to prepare for the end.
It's more or less, in Diabolical, it's more or less, you have the same story in a different flavor from another person who does this.
Yeah. So the choices don't have meaning, but I really like the choices. They're still really great.
Yeah. They're still fun.
Choice of Magic's, Choice of Robots obviously still had the most meaning. Everything mattered. Like my fucking Canadian money.
That is super important for you to not go bankrupt.
Hell yeah, Canada. But and then Choice of Magic's is smack dab in the middle. I went over that. It mattered, but also like in a way I wasn't too much of a fan of.
Would you I know I'm selling them shilling for this, but would you recommend these games to people?
Yeah. I'd be down if we just dragged one of our D&D group friends into this and just said, okay, now both of us are going to watch.
We're just going to slowly introduce people. Which one would you have people play? Like probably robots?
It depends on the person. For example, Sophie, I might actually introduce her to Diabolical first. But if it was Molly, it would be robots.
I think Molly would like robots a lot.
Molly would love robots. Abby would probably... Abby would... I mean, she would like either one of those two. She knows this one ends with like the Russian lady, but she'd probably like robots at the start anyways.
Yeah. I love these games. They're great.
They're good.
It's a wonderful genre. See, these do what I think Telltale was trying to do.
Yeah. Telltale is hit or miss.
Way smaller budget on these, obviously.
It's all text.
This is basically a PDF file.
Remember when I had an update for the text?
I still don't know what the fuck that updated.
I have no idea. There's just a grammar update.
Well, that's about all I got. Anything else you wanted to mention at the end of this? Because, believe it or not, amongst our Park and Kai plays, the choice of games are actually our highest viewed stuff. I've looked recently. People like them.
They're good. Still one more. We'll do it, but probably
we'll do
won't
one more. No, that won't be. That'll be its own series. That'll be its own mini series. And neither of us have done it, so we have no idea what to expect there. And we haven't even decided who's going to be in control.
I thought it was gonna be both of us. That we're
Yeah,
just gonna
we can do
like
that.
we'll have to come to an agreement.
I'll hive mind it.
My suggestion is that at the start we agree on the kind of person we'll be, and then we'll have to make a decision on each decision, like what fits that.
Okay.
Like
We'll
we'll
talk
have to,
about
we'll
it.
have to sell it to each other.
We'll talk about it. I'm excited.